Hey everybody, you know what this is. This is the Anthony Thomas show. I'm going to call this episode More Money, Different Problems. And I'll explain why. I'll explain why right now. Now, I don't know how many of you have a lot of money. I am not one of those people that has a lot of money. So if you have a lot of money, please give me some of it. Anyway, moving. But let's just get right into it. Now, I was talking to somebody and there was a big lottery. You know, everybody gets all excited when there's a big lottery in town. You know, it's almost like you get permission to dream out loud when there's a big lottery. The news reporters are out there. You know, you go to your regular store and there's a big line in the back where everybody's buying lottery tickets. There's a positive buzz in the air because everybody's anticipating the things they would buy if they got a hold of all of that money. Oh man, if I had $100 million, if I had $200 million, I had $500 million. And you sit there and you dream and you dream and you realize you're not going to win because the chances of you winning are slim to negative none. But it feels good to dream. Literally, you just paid $2 or $4 or whatever amount of money you spent on lottery tickets. You spent that amount of money to dream. And it feels good for a little while, doesn't it? And then you turn on the news and they say somebody's won. And then they say the city and you don't live in that city. So you automatically go, man, I wish it was me. And then you forget all about it. And you go on with your day. All of a sudden, that dream you purchased for $2 or $4 or whatever amount of money you use to buy those tickets, all of a sudden, the dream has expired, right? You rented that dream for whatever amount of time it was between when you bought the ticket and when the numbers came out, 3 days, a week, whatever. You leased the dream for a little while. It made traffic going to work a little bit easier because you were thinking about, man, when I get this lottery money, if I'm lucky enough to get this lottery money, I won't give a crap about being in traffic. In fact, I won't be in traffic. And if I am in traffic, that'll be my driver's problem. I'll be in the back with my supermodel girlfriends and that'll be that. And I won't care about the traffic. Or I'll be in my Wednesday helicopter. Yeah, that's right. Right? And sometimes people win a smaller lottery. They win something at a casino. They win $1 million. I remember I saw a guy won I think it was a slot machine or something. I forgot. Well, maybe it was a lottery. I can't really remember. Whatever it was, he just kind of nonchalantly did something and won $1 million. And he's holding the check up. And they go, what are you going to do? And you could tell this guy had no idea how money works. Absolutely no idea how money works. The first thing he said was something plausible, something that made sense. Well, I'm going to play off my house early. Now that made sense. That's well within the money, depending on what kind of house he has. Maybe he has 20 grand left on the house. Now we could just plop down the 20 grand and game, set, match. It's over. The house is theirs. Game over. But then he kept talking. And that's when I knew he had no idea what money was. How did I know? And then I'm going to buy my mom and dad a house. Oh, you are? Really? With $1 million, that is really going to be more like $650,000 or $600,000 after taxes? Huh? That's what you're going to buy the house with? Do you know what houses cost nowadays? You're not going to buy them a house. And if you do buy them a house, that's all you're buying. And that's just the way it is. Sometimes we get money and we think money's going to solve problems. Now, for the average American or the average person around the world, because obviously my audience is not just in America, for the average person around the world, if you handed them a certain amount of money, even if it's not a big amount of money like $1 million, if you handed them some money, all of a sudden, 90% of their problems would go away. I know that 90% of my problems would vanish immediately if I became wealthy. 90%. Probably the same thing for you. Now, I'm not talking about maybe something where somebody got sick or somebody was taken off of this earthly plane earlier than they should have been. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about bills and all this kind of crap, not having the kind of clothes you want, the car's messed up, your house sucks. I'm talking about the everyday problems that a person has. You know, you get a little bit of money and it just changes things. It doesn't even have to be a big number like that. You could just get a slight raise at your job. And all of a sudden, you realize, whoa, I got a little more power. I remember a person that I knew, and he got this big raise. He went from being a salesperson all the way up to some kind of sales manager or whatever it was. And not only did he get his salary, because that was his team, he got a little bit of a profit sharing thing. So the better they did, the better he did. And all of a sudden, this guy that was doing okay is now doing very, very, very okay. And he goes into Best Buy or some kind of store like that. And just like the rest of us, if you or I walk into Best Buy, we see a laptop that we want, we probably will go, I probably will be able to, oh, that's probably somebody. Don't worry about that. That's my phone. I forgot to turn it off. Sorry about that, guys. I probably will get that laptop maybe in the summertime. I'll put some money together, and maybe this summer or maybe early next year, I'll be able to get that laptop. Maybe because that's what a regular person thinks, or maybe they'll let me make payments. That's what you're thinking, because it's a high ticket item and you have to have it for work, but you don't need it right this second, but you're planning on it. You're thinking about it. You're putting a little money aside. You're getting a little less at lunchtime, right? You're driving a little bit less because you don't want to spend money on gas. You're not going out with your friends as much. You're going out a little bit less because you're trying to save some money for that laptop you need from work. But this particular gentleman got a raise, as I just said. He's now the sales manager, and he gets profit sharing. And he went from being okay to walking into Best Buy, seeing the laptop that the rest of us would have to save up for, and realize he can now purchase it as an impulse buy. He can just buy this laptop. I'll take it. Right? Even if you take it to the lower scale, when I was in my early 20s and I was living in Los Angeles and broke, right? I was making $7 an hour, and then I went from $7 an hour to $12.50 or something. I forgot what the numbers was, but that's basically what it was. And this is not a joke. I think I talked about this before on somebody else's podcast, maybe on one of my podcasts. But my buddy and I, who we were sharing an apartment, and down the street at Hollywood and Highland in Los Angeles. If you're in Los Angeles or you live in Hollywood, you know what I'm talking about. There's a McDonald's on Hollywood and Highland that has been there forever. Well, up the street, if you're driving towards the Hollywood Bowl, there was a Burger King up there. And the Burger King and the McDonald's were both selling their hamburgers, their signature hamburgers, the Whopper and the Big Mac for $1. And they couldn't raise the price because they were right next to each other. And if they raised the price, all of a sudden the tourists would go to the other place. So we'll go across the street from my where I was living at the time. We both walk into to the Burger King, and we were used to buying just the burger by itself and a courtesy cup. And a courtesy cup, I don't know if they still do that, but back in the day, if you got a courtesy cup, they would give you a cup, right? And the soda machines would dispense water. So you would get, or they'd give you water from behind the counter with the cup, and there was no charge. You would, like I said, it's a courtesy cup. So you'd get the Whopper with the courtesy cup. Well, I got a raise. And my buddy on his job, he got a raise. It was really cool that we got a raise right around the same time. We walk into the Burger King, man. We were about to, get some grub. And we looked at each other and started laughing, because before we were just buying the one burger and getting the courtesy cup. And now we can literally get a full meal from Burger King and upsize it. I don't know what they had. I don't know if they called it supersizing or whatever. Then it might have been a McDonald's thing, but you could, now all of a sudden you get the whole meal. No. I want the Whopper with cheese and the bacon and all that other stuff. Throw it on there. Yeah, that's right. And give me the big soda. Yeah, that's right. French fries. That's for peasants. I want onion rings. Yeah, throw a couple extra in there. Yeah, that's right. Huh? $2 change? Nah, you can keep that. You can't keep the change, sir. Okay, I just wanted you to know that I could let you have it. Now give it to me. Thank you. Back into my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Now, all that was going from buying a burger with no cheese on it, no extras, and a cup of water, to now buying a full meal at a Burger King. Right? Do you know how good it felt to eat that burger with cheese on it this time? How good it felt to reach my hand to the right and pick up an onion ring instead of just French fries. How good it was to pick up this big soda, not water, big, not small. You're daggone right. You go ahead and put that ice in there. Yeah. And that's just with a little bit of money. But the thing I've noticed is everybody thinks if you get some more money, all of a sudden your problems are going to go away. And yes, problems that you have right now are going to go away. But guess what? New problems show up. new problems show up. Because that's the thing. If your life is a party, and life is, I guess you can say life is kind of like a party. If you're having a good life, it could be like a party, right? You invite people into it. They hang around. You have a great time, and then they go home. It's like a party. Your life is like a party. But just like a party, it has assigned seats sometimes. If you go into a movie set or a TV set or something like that, there's a chair, and on the back of the chair, it'll say director. I remember when I did some extra work in the movie, they actually had the names of the actors on the back of the chairs. So not only did the director have a name on the chair, not only did the assistant director have the name on the chair, the producer had a name on the chair, the lead actors had names on chairs. So you knew, do not sit in those chairs. Those chairs are for the people with the names on the back. Right? If you go to a party, sometimes you have assigned seatings. Maybe you have a wedding. This is where mom and dad sit. And this is where my step people sit. And this is where my friends sit. Assigned seating. Well, if your life's like a party, realize there's assigned seating. And in your life, there's assigned seating for problems. You got rid of those other problems, but guess what happens? Different problems show up. Right? Because even if you got money, you will have problems. And sometimes you throw money at those problems and you think that you got rid of those problems, but all you did was make those problems angry at you. And then they call their older brother, and their older brother is named Big Problems. Right? Say for the sake of argument, you do something stupid, right? Something that would really make a person who's making a regular salary or a poor person, get them really in really big trouble. Oh no. Oh, crap. Oh, this is going to cost me so much for this bill. Oh, no. Oh, crap. They're going to sue my insurance, and my insurance is going to go up at least 25% for a while after this traffic accident, and I didn't have a dash cam. Oh, crap. Oh, this is going to be horrible. It's going to cost me so much money. I'm going to have to dip into my savings. Oh, this is going to suck. It's going to be real tight for a while because and all of that crap. Now, say it's the same accident. Instead of running into somebody with your 10-year-old Nissan Sentra, you run into them with your $100,000 floop-de-floop car, right? And now, all of a sudden, the same fender bender. All of a sudden, the person looks at your car. They say, let me make a phone call, okay? And they look at the make and model of the car, and they've never seen it before. And they look it up, and they see that the $100,000. Ooh. I was about to just exchange information with this person, but now that I know they've got $100,000 to spend on a car, and I don't see a dash cam in the mirror, my back's starting to hurt a little bit, and so's my neck. Yes, it is, honey. What's going on? What's going on, Joe? This guy's driving a $100,000 car. Oh, so I guess we're gonna do it again with my back and neck hurting. That's right. Oh, and I'm pregnant. I'll make sure. You're not pregnant. He don't know that. Oh, we're going to get this money. It's the same fender bender. The other person, if you're broke or a regular person, regular salaried person, I should say, not that broke or a regular person, like broke people aren't regular people. That's not what I meant, because I've been both, and they're both. People are just people. Sorry about that. Was just me being clumsy with my language. But if you're at the broke level, or if you're at the regular salary level, which is more appropriate, sorry about that. If you're at the broke level or the regular salary level, that can damage. If you're broke, it can really crush you. And if you're at the regular salary level, that can do some damage too. It might not knock you out of your house or ruin your life, but it's going to hurt for a while. But if you're Captain Rich, all of a sudden, the whole family, right? People that are on the side of the street. I turned my head to look at the accident and I tripped and fell. So I think I should be able to sue him too. And all of a sudden you got 15 people suing you. All of a sudden, I was looking out the window when I was so traumatized. And then I fell down the steps because I was so traumatized. I think I should be getting, you know what I'm talking about. So the problems of it just multiplied because you got money now. So really, that's just what you notice. You think you have problems that can be erased by money. And all money did was come in and create new problems. Now, I'm not lying. If I had a choice between being at a regular salary level or being wealthy, at this particular time from the outside looking in, I'm going to say, of course, I'd rather be rich. right? Everybody would like a little bit more money, but do you want to be as rich as some of these really super duper rich people? You want to be as rich as the Tesla dude or Jeff Bezos or Warren Buffett? Do you really think you need $100 billion? Right? Do you need that much money? I don't even want that much money. What would I do with that much money? Oh, if I ever had that kind of money, I am literally looking at as many societal problems as I can find. And I'm going to find a way to try to make the money and power that I have facilitate alleviating those problems for people. That's what I would try to do. And that's the truth. But for the record, for those of you listening, if somehow in the future I become some prominent person and I somehow get to that level of prominence and I get to the level where I have the kind of money that those guys are having, I would like to say right now, everything I just said was complete crap. And to hell with you losers. Because I'll be rich. The heck with y'all, Jack. But you said on your podcast a couple years ago, yeah, but that was when I was not having that much money. But now, Jack, I'm worth $18 billion. I don't give a crap what y'all think. And I'm going to start voting for politicians that don't even like me, but will help me with my money. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I would not do that. Moving on. So all I'm saying is it seems like money solves problems, and it does solve some problems, but all it does is usher in new problems. It's like when you watch, I was driving to the supermarket and I saw this party planning place off in the distance. And when I was driving to the place, I saw people milling around out front. It was obviously the party that had just ended. And I could see people very politely who were staff members trying to usher those people up the block and out front of the place because the new people were coming in because they were going to have a party. This party was over. They needed to clean up, and then they need to bring in the new people so they could have their party. It was like a room that people rented out for parties. And I thought about it. The first party is you being broke. The first party is you being a regular 9-to-5 person like we are right now, right? And then all of a sudden, the money comes in and they need to clean out those problems. And then the new problems come in. Relatives that are mad at you because, well, you've got so much money and you've given them enough money. Because let's be honest, we'll all take over our families. Right? But you know daggone well, if you just are friends or family that you decide you want to help out, if you ever came into that kind of money, do you know there are certain people that will be so grateful? Say for the sake of argument, you come into some astronomical amount of money and you have a relative that's a good person. It's always been good to you. Good, sane, nice, hardworking person. And you go, I've put some money together, my friend. Look, you've been good to me my whole life. And now that I'm worth this $18 quadrillion, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make sure that for the rest of your life, you have it. You're going to have $100,000 a year after taxes. And I'm going to raise it every year for inflation. So no matter what happens, you'll always have the equivalent of $100,000 or so dollars after taxes because I'm worth $18 quadrillion and I want you to have that. And somebody like me would go, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I know that the person's worth $18 quadrillion, but I'm not going to ask for $1 million. They're giving me $100,000 in this thought experiment and I'm grateful. But there will be some people, right? There will be some people. And you would say that to them, and they're going to be sitting there going, you living in a mansion, and you got $18 billion, and you only go give me $100,000. Keep in mind, the most this person made in their entire life in the one particular year they've made is $32,000. And now you're giving them almost three times that after taxes in this thought experiment, and they're sitting there looking at you. Why don't you just give me, you got $18 billion. Why don't you just give me one of them, one gabajabagad? You still have 17 gabajabagadidions left. Man, you make me sick. I can't stand that guy. He ain't nothing God, but he stink. He sucks. That's right. There will be people who are mad at you. So what happened? You threw money at a problem. Boom. This is going to take care of this person who I love very much. And now they hate me. They're literally driving in a luxury vehicle, living in a condo that the money I gave them paid for. Right? They don't have to work for the rest of their life and live at a really high level. And they're mad at me. a few years ago, keep in mind, this is a thought experiment, because Lord knows I ain't got any money like that. A thought experiment, right? The years before that, before you won the lottery or had the business idea that made you $18 they loved you. They thought you were the greatest thing since sliced bread. You give them $100,000 after taxes for the rest of their life, and now you're a piece of garbage. How does that work? It's because money solves some problems and it erases some problems, but it also ushers in other problems. That's just the way it works. And we all have to acknowledge that. So would I love to be rich? Yes, I would. I'm sure you would love to be rich too. But I don't want to be Tesla boy rich or Bezos rich or Buffett rich. I don't need all of that. I just need enough money where if I chose to never work again, I could live a good level of life, with whoever my wife will be in the future. Maybe if I have kids, I don't know. I want to be able to take care of them and put them through college or whatever. I just want to be able to live a good life and not have to worry about bills and be able to enjoy life. If I chose, well, of course, I'll never stop working, but if I chose to, I just want to have that ability. That's the amount of money that is. I don't know what that number is, but I just want to hit that number. And when I get there, cool. I know there will be problems that come with it, just like there'll be problems that come with it if you ever achieve your goals. But if you really think about it, seeing as how there's going to be problems anyway, I'd rather have the problems in a nice big house with a nice car than the problems I have now. At least that's what I think from this side. And that's the end of the podcast, everybody. Much love to you all. Thank you for listening. Thank to the new people. Once again, more new people coming in. Obviously, you guys are coming in from YouTube. So thank you very much to my new YouTube people, to my old school Spotify people, my iTunes people, my iHeartRadio people, and all the other places that you're coming in. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast. Much love to you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Now, do me a favor. If you love this podcast, and you do me a favor and subscribe to this podcast either here or YouTube Music or Spotify or iTunes or wherever you listen to this podcast. Please make sure you subscribe. And if you love this podcast, and you do me a favor and rate and review this podcast 5 stars, please. It would be fantastic and I would appreciate it. If you love this podcast, and you do, make sure that you tell somebody that that you think would love to listen to this podcast. Tell them about it and share all the links on social media. I would appreciate it very, very much. And if you want to find out all the stuff that I'm doing online, just look me up by name, S. Anthony Thomas. Google it and all my crap will show up, okay? Cool. Much love to you, and I will see you guys again next week. S. Anthony